The goal is to get to the point where you can stand in the grocery store and close your eyes and spin around and then stop on somebody and know that you could help that person no matter what. You could literally help anyone right now in this moment. Anybody that has a pulse and that has like a goal, like you could help them.
You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey you guys, heads up, this is the first episode in a 3-part masterclass I did called Get Your First or Next Client Masterclass, where we dive into both the strategy and mindset required to get your first or next client in your business. So following this episode, there will be 2 more, so make sure you commit, stick with it, see it all the way through, and catch those 2 episodes as well. I can't wait to hear what you think. Make sure you reach out and let me know when you get that first or next client so I can celebrate with you. Enjoy.
Thrilled and honored. I cannot tell you seriously how much it means that you guys are here today. So feel free. I know all of you so well. Hopefully you guys know each other as well. If not, little wave, little hi. All of us are IGC people, so that kind of makes us special. But I wanted to do this masterclass, this 3-day masterclass, to really just dive into what it takes to get a client. And I'm going to introduce myself. I know all of you, but I am Sandy Patterson. My sweet spot, I'm a certified life and business coach, and my sweet spot is really working with women who are in the beginning phases of building their business. It's just, I love working with women who are getting things off the ground, getting those first few clients in the door, and really proving to themselves that they can do it and that this is real, like you can do this. And I'm really good at bridging the gap between, a lot of times women come to me and they say, I know this is possible, but I just don't quite believe it yet. So I'm really good at bridging that gap and helping them believe that it's possible. And my intention for today, that this reaches you in the exact way that it's meant to reach you. And even just one thing from the next 3 days that we have, even if you'd hear just one thing in a way that you've never heard it before, or maybe you have heard it before, but it shifts you in a way that you need to move forward and gain a little bit more confidence in order to begin to pull those clients into your business. Because all of us who are here, we have businesses, we want to make money, we want to make an impact, we want to get clients, we want to help people. That's why we're literally all here. And I ask from you that you are all in and committed to seeing this through. I know that you've heard this before. Like, if you want to see results you've never seen before, you're going to have to do things that you've never done before. And this process that I'm going to share with you over the next 3 days, it's not something that I've seen done in this way before. And I know a lot of us have been in a lot of the same spaces where we know like what we need to do. Like, we know we need to talk about our offer. We know we need to handle objections. We know all these things. It really just, it's never about knowing what to do. It's about believing that we can do it and believing in ourselves. So that's really how I'm going to push you in this process here. And I've, just like all of you, I've invested a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort into figuring out, like, we think it's so easy, right? Like, we have an offer and then the client should come. They should come knocking on our door and hand us their credit card, right? But that's really never how it actually works. And so I'm going to walk you through this process, like I said, that I've never seen done like this before. And I'm so honored and so humbled that you've chosen to take time out of your day off, your day here, to be here. And I do not take it lightly that you've chosen to be here or listen to this, or I know you have 1,000 things going on. It's the end of the school year. Summer's right around the corner. You're wearing so many hats. And so I appreciate you. And I also ask that you really lean into and embrace getting a little bit uncomfortable here. Any of you that have worked with me before in any capacity know that I'm going to push you a little bit and I'm going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it always comes from a place of love, and it comes from a place of wanting to push you because I see in you what maybe you don't see yet in yourself. Okay. And of course, I'm going to do this in a way that allows you to be successful. Like, I will literally hold your hand. I've got your back, and you are so wrapped in love in this space. It's funny. I sound like I'm teaching kindergarten again. Like, I've got you. I'll hold your hand. We got this. Okay. But I just want you to know that you're in good hands in this space together. Okay. And the last thing that I expect of you is just to reach out if you need help or get stuck. I can't help unstick you if you don't reach out, right? So I can't help you work through the muck unless you own that you're in that muck and that you own needing help getting out of it. Okay. So again, this is just stepping outside of your ego and saying, okay, I'm help I need stuck. I am here for you over these next 3 days, this next week, to support you in this. Okay. So going over that really quickly, what I expect of you is that just you go in, you see this all the way through, you do what you're asked. I'm going to ask you to do some things. You embrace being uncomfortable and that you reach out for help if you need it. Sound good, you guys? Okay, cool, cool. Love your faces. Love your hearts. Okay, so day one, we're going to dive right in here. So day one is all about knowing. So if you have a business, you need to know two things, right? You need to know your offer, and you also need to know who you work with. Now, 3 common mistakes that I commonly see when we talk about like your offer and who you work with. And I know what a lot of us are thinking in the beginning, right? Like, I think I know my offer. I think I know who I'm working with. And there's that little sense of like, ooh, like imposter syndrome that starts to like creep in. But do you really know? But do you know what your offer is? But and that leads to overthinking, right? So just overthinking in general, just overthinking everything. That's one common mistake that we waste a lot of time on. Another really common mistake that I see is niche jumping, right? So maybe I can work with this person, or I'll do this, and then I'll do this. And then they're confused, you're confused, everybody's confused, right? The other part of this is in regards to your offer, like you've created so many offers because the first one didn't work. So then now you have so many offers that again, you're confused, they're confused, nobody knows what to buy, we're all confused, right? So if you're here, you most likely have a ballpark idea of both of these things. And that's all I'm asking you to work with today is just ballpark. Like, it's fine that you have ballpark. I'm going to guess that you're probably sitting here thinking, like I said, there's like that little like doubt creeper coming in, right? I think I have an idea, but I can feel that imposter syndrome. I think I know who I want to work with. I don't have like a super clear picture. Maybe it's a little fuzzy, but I'm not sure if I can do it. I think I have an offer, but I'm not sure if it's the right offer or if anyone will want it. I totally, totally get that. And I just want to normalize those thoughts right now. So if those thoughts are creeping in or have ever crept in, have you guys ever had those? Yeah, definitely. I still have them, right? We all still have them. I just want to normalize it. That's part of the process to work through that muck. And what we're going to do over the next few days is we're essentially going to bridge this gap, right? And we're going to allow you to show up in a powerful way and minimize those thoughts, because those thoughts are not helping any of us at all. They're actually slowing us down big time. And you wouldn't believe how much time that we waste on indecision and overthinking, right? And it's huge. We waste so much time trying to decide or second guessing ourselves and all of these things. And it's a waste of time. Okay. So we're going to dive into this. And if you're thinking, well, I've never actually worked with anybody in this capacity. Yes, you have, or else you wouldn't be all in like you are right now. So that thought of like, can I do this? I've never actually done it before, or I've never had a client before, or I've only had, my best friend was my client, or my, and this person I knew in real life, but they just worked with me because they, knew somebody that knew somebody. You have worked with someone, or else you wouldn't be here right now. I'm not going to go advertise it like, hey, I'm a mechanic and I've never, like, why would I do that? I would be the worst person to look at somebody's car because I have no clue. You have an offer, even if it's a ballpark offer. You have an offer, a standard just package offer that you want to help somebody and you want to serve somebody and help somebody. So you are capable of this and you do have an offer, okay? So if you get rid of your ego for just a second and you assume, like, let's just take a second and let's assume that you can do this, just pretend, and that you're the exact right person for this job. What if you could? What was the transformation that you've walked yourself through, right? So we talk about this often. What's the transformation that you went through? That is a perfect, perfect place to start because you've done it and you have proof that you've done it. And I know exactly the thoughts that come up here when I say you can do it because you've done it. You're thinking, well, I'm still going through the transformation. I'm not through it yet. Girl, you don't have to be all the way through to help someone. You just have to be a few steps ahead of them in order to help guide them along. Another kickback to this, another like thought that tends to pop up in this situation is, well, I did it for myself, but I don't know if I can do it for somebody else. Like, I know I did it for me, but I don't know because I've never done it for somebody else before. So, then that overthinking comes in. You can do it. If you've done it for yourself, you can do it for somebody else. It might not look the exact same, but you can do it. And I'm gonna say something here, and I'm probably gonna go against probably what a lot of you heard, which is to like micro niche down, niche down, niche down, niche down, really know your client. And I 100% do believe that niching down is totally important after you've worked with at least 10 people. So having 10 people in your space, I think it's important to niche down. But for right now, if you're in this space where you're like, I've only worked with a couple people so far, I've only worked with one people, or maybe you're a person that hasn't worked with anybody yet, that's all good too. After you've worked with those 10 people, we know how important the messaging is, and we talk about talking to one person, but you cannot do this until you have a clear picture of who you work with. And you're not going to know who you work with until you just work with a lot of different people. Okay? Because unless you've worked with a chunk of people like this 10 chunk of people, you're not able to begin to see the similarities and the commonalities across the board. So today we're talking really about getting that first client or that first 5 and then that first 10 people in. Once you've worked with that chunk of people, you start to see those similarities. It's when you begin to see yourself starting to repeat yourself. And it's truly when you figure out like who you like to work with, who you don't like to work with, and also what you do like to work around or work with and what you don't like to work around, right? So I know this is going against the like niche down messaging that you've heard, but in the beginning here, I'm just literally here to encourage you and tell you that it's okay to be broad. And I know again, like some people are probably like having a heart attack, like, oh my gosh, I've heard to niche down. I know that I'm supposed to niche down. I should niche down. But in the beginning, it's okay to be broad. Okay. It's okay to not know. It's okay for it to be clear. It's okay for it to be fuzzy. What's not okay though is thinking, okay, I'll start talking about my offer once I know who my client is. That is not okay because essentially what happens is we get into this cycle of overthinking. We're thinking, 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 and we're like, I'll start once I have a really clear picture of this person. So, is this resonating with you guys? You can just give me a thumbs up or a yes, or you can drop in the chat. Okay, good. Yeah. Liv, I love that. So much freedom. Let me pull up the chat. So much freedom in leaving it to be a bit more open to help more people in the beginning. Yes, totally. And it's it's also, I think it's very constricting when we do hear, when we have this advice of like niche down, niche down, niche down. You have to have a niche. You have to know exactly who you're talking to. And while yes, that's important in the beginning, that's just going to trip us up a lot. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out who your client is by serving, by working with people. Okay. And then it's okay. We're going to release that thought that I have to know exactly who it is and it has to be really clear. And we're going to draw people in a broader way. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to have you do today is you're going to create, I just like to call them buckets. So like really broad buckets, and you can create 2 or 3 broad buckets. So even like, I like to even like, I'm such a, I'm such a teacher, but I'm going to like draw on a piece of paper, like actual buckets, because I love to visualize it. And so I draw my buckets, and then I'm just gonna, I'm gonna add like very, you like that? Thank you. I'm gonna add, I'm gonna say I might want to work with, one of the buckets of people that I work with are teachers. So I'm just gonna label that teachers. One of the buckets of people that I work with are coaches. So I'm gonna label it coaches. And then one of the buckets that I work with are VAs. So I'm just gonna add VAs and OBMs into, so these are my buckets. Your buckets could be as broad as like a mom, a new mom, a photographer, somebody that has come out of an abusive relationship. Like these could be anything. So take just a second and you can write down, you can think in your head. I always think that writing is better than just thinking. So take a second to write down what you think that your buckets might be. And again, these don't have to be super, super specific. They don't have to be super niche down. They're just going to be like people. And this also helps me too. Like, I know for me, like, I don't want to work with men. So like all of my buckets are going to be women, right? Maybe you do want to work with men and women. So all of your buckets are men and women. It really doesn't matter. It's just what feels good to you in this moment without overthinking it. And that is a really going to be a really big theme of our time together today, is like just moving before the overthinking kicks in, right? Because we have, again, a tendency as overachievers, as perfectionists, as, you know, new business owners who are just trying to figure this out. We have this tendency to be like, am I doing this right? Is this the right way to do it? I'm going to encourage you today to just really lean into your intuition, just lean into your gut, and to just go with whatever comes up first. And if you're open to sharing your buckets, you can feel free to unmute yourself or you can drop them in the chat. I would love to hear what you guys are coming up with so far.
Is it okay to have more than 3 buckets?
You can have as many buckets as you want. Yeah, of course. It's absolutely fine. It's okay to have one bucket. Like, there's no right answer here.
The 3 buckets that I have so far: teachers, moms, and travelers.
Ooh, love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Anybody else want to share their buckets?
I will.
Yeah, please, please.
Am I on the earth? Photographers, coaches, adolescents, and multi-passionate entrepreneurs.
Oh my gosh. Love it. Love, love, love. Thank you. Okay.
So I almost have 3, but words are hard.
Yeah.
So the first one I put abuse survivors. The second one I wrote lost souls, just because like anyone who's sort of lost and confused is like, I want you to know that it doesn't have to be your life forever. And the third one, I'm leaning more into fitness, but like, I'm also not the person who's going to like write you a 6-month workout plan. I'm not that well versed in it. So whatever person falls into that category of like prioritizing their health, I'll come up with words eventually.
I love that. And what I hear from that too is like the mindset that comes with taking control of your health. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Wellness. Exactly. Like your health.
Yeah. Thank you. This is why we need people.
Yeah. This is exactly it. Yeah, because that's huge. Because if your mindset's not in the right space when you go to make these changes in your lifestyle, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing these buckets. However many buckets resonate with you in this moment is however many buckets. Now, what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead and you're in just very like one sentence. Like, again, catch yourself before you start the overthinking, right? What's the problem? What's their problem? So like for me in my teacher bucket, right? Like their problem is that they want to leave their job and start a business, but they are stuck. So that's the problem. So go ahead and take just a second, and in each bucket, you're just gonna write like a sentence. This is not, you don't have to write like a novel, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody but you. What is their problem? The person that you are drawn to, that you can help, what is their problem? So you're gonna do that for each bucket. And again, you're not, it's okay, like catch yourself before the overthinking begins, right? We're just kind of moving in flow. And that flow state is where we just kind of go with the first thing that comes to us. We are going to trust that it's what it's supposed to be today. And this can all evolve and change, right? Like this is not set in stone. It is not like this is your end all be all. This is just a right now to work you through this process of what it looks like to begin to pull people into your space, right? Okay, and then the next part of this too is you're going to write one more sentence in each bucket. So, and this is going to be one sentence, just one thought, one sentence, right? And the sentence is, what is keeping them up at night? And it might relate, like it might sound similar to the problem, but it also might not. So like if their problem is like, I don't have enough confidence, then what's keeping them up at night? It might be, oh, I wish I had more confidence to speak up for myself. Okay. Maybe their problem is they want to find a new job. And what's keeping them up at night is, oh my goodness, I can't sleep because I'm dreading going to work so badly in the morning. I wish I could find a new job that fulfills me. That would be so amazing. I think oftentimes too, I just want to normalize this. We get caught up in like, is this the right thought? Like, is this is what they're really thinking? And if we go back to, I'm guessing that probably a lot of you, your buckets are versions of you or a prior version of you. So if you can take yourself back, or maybe that's you now, right? If you can take yourself into that headspace of like, what is keeping this person up at night? And it doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be something that someone is going to get to a point where they're like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of this. And then they're going to want to move and do something about it. I mean, it probably most likely will relate to their problem, but it'll be a little bit more nuanced. So like if the problem is they don't have a lot of self-confidence, right? So an example of what's keeping them up at night might be, oh, I wish I had more confidence to speak up for myself, or I wish I had enough more confidence to ask for that promotion or that raise, or maybe their problem is that they want to find a new job and their thought that's keeping them up at night is like, oh, I wish I could find a new job that fulfills me, or I'm dreading work tomorrow because I hate my job so much because it just drains me at the end of the day. Like you're just getting a little bit more specific in that idea of what's keeping them up at night. And it should ideally, right, be something that somebody's going to get to the point where they're just so sick and tired of being so sick and tired and feeling like this that they're going to want to do something about it. So now you should have your buckets. You should have a problem statement underneath, and then you also have a like what's keeping them up at night statement. And this again, this document, this bucket, this picture, whatever you want to call it, like this can evolve. And of course, you're going to go back to it and you're going to add more to it. You might get rid of buckets as you work with people. You might add more buckets on. You might, this is just going to evolve. It's like a living, breathing thing now. Your business is basically your baby, right? So it's living, it's breathing. We have to tend to it. And it's going to change. It's going to evolve, okay? So then the next thing that you're going to do today, because today is all about knowing, it's knowing who you want to work with or who you do work with already. And it's also knowing what you offer. Take a piece of paper and draw 4 columns. So you're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 columns, kind of like this. My paper is horizontal, and then I just drew 3 lines down the middle to make 4 columns. And then in the first column, in column number 1, you're gonna just do like 10 bullets. So you have space for 10 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have 10 bullets. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna list 5 people. Again, hold on. Before you start this, you're gonna start to overthink this again. your brain's going to kick in and be like, oh, no, that won't work. That person doesn't work with you. That she wouldn't pay you. Blah, 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 blah. She's not, whatever. Just off the top of your head, drop into your gut and be like, who are 5 people that I know in real life that I would just really enjoy working with? Like, I would love to work with them. Just write them down. First 5 names that come to mind. These are people that you know in real life.
Is that in the first column? Sorry.
That's in the first column. Yeah. So you're going to do the first 5 of people that you know in real life that you would love to work with. And again, you're not overthinking this. It's just the first 5 people that come to your mind that you'd be like, oh, that would be so fun to work with that person. Now, if you have a course or a product, like, and that's your business model, that's totally fine. You're just going to put 5 people that you know that would benefit from purchasing that course or that product from you. Okay. Now, the next 5, so you got 5, you just wrote 5 names on the top of people you know in real life. The next 5 are 5 people that you know on social media. So 5 people that you've interacted with. Maybe you don't know them in real life. Maybe you don't have their phone number in your phone, but you have interacted with them or you know of them on Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media platform you work on. You're going to go ahead and write 5 more down. So now you have a list of 10 people. You have 5 people you know in real life, 5 people that you know on social media. And ideally, these people, all of the people on this list, drop into one of these buckets, one of your buckets. Again, don't overthink this too much. I'm not going to make you do anything yet. So just have some fun. Now, you might be also a person too that already has a list going like this, right? Like you have like a lead tracker, and that is awesome. And in my program, in the Biz Builders program too, we really go into what a lead tracker is and how to use it and all of that stuff. But if you already have, raise your hand or give me a thumbs up or something if you already have a lead tracker. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I knew there was at least one of you that had one. I'm going to challenge you to add 5 more real people and 5 more social media people onto that lead tracker list. So these are people that are not on your list already. They're extra people. Okay, so we're going to have 5 more, so you have 10 people now. Okay, so in the second column, here's what you're going to do. You're going to write in that second column next to that person's name, you're going to write why you want to work with them. Again, you're not going to overthink this, okay? It can be as simple as my gut tells me that I could really help them. That's sufficient. It might be something very simply like, I would love to go to happy hour with this person. Like, I would just love to chat with this person. Don't get too nitty gritty. Just why would you like to work with that person? This person seems really fun. This person seems like she would be my ideal client. This person seems like she would be really open to doing this work. I know this person is tired of this and I would love to help her with that. Like, that's enough.
Sandy,
Yeah.
is this the first 5 people we're doing why, or the second 5? The social media people, or?
You can do both. Ideally, you're going to do both. So the social media people might be a little bit harder, just because you don't know them like you maybe know the people in real life. But it's, again, you're just going with your instincts, you're going with your gut, and you're thinking, what, without overthinking it, without like questioning yourself, why would I want to work with this person? When I do this too, I literally write down like, I want to go to happy hour with this person. I want to have a drink with this person. Because the people that I want to work with are people that I actually want to be around, right? And that's enough. Is anybody feeling any resistance so far?
I'm stuck with just coming up with the names, and I don't have my phone handy. I can't find it. Pull up my contacts.
That's the hardest part, is remembering who I know.
Don't overthink it, you guys. Seriously, don't overthink it. It's just, I mean, even on my list, like I have a lady, I don't even know what her name is. I just wrote lady in the carpool like line that I always talk to. And I'm like, I should probably figure out her name, but I would love to work with her because she seems really cool. And she talks a lot. Oh, she tells me all the time how busy she is and how stressed out she is. So I'm like, oh, like that's somebody that I feel like I could help. And I enjoy talking to this person. So again, don't overthink. Has anybody had that? Have you noticed in your brain that like part of you that wants to like be like, no, not good. Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say, like, there's like a girl that is studying abroad in Spain right now, and I would love to work with her because like study abroad changed my life. But then I heard myself be like, well, she's a study abroad student, so she doesn't have money.
Yes. So that is so common. And I think it happens so quickly and so instantly because that's how we're used to operating. Like that's our default to question ourselves, especially when we're doing something new like this and something where we're not quite sure of ourselves, right? Like I almost think of it like to me, it feels like I picture in my head like a baby giraffe or like a baby deer just being born and like trying to like figure this out, right? But there's no way to figure it out unless you just kind of move through that. And if you can catch yourself before you start that overthinking process and before you start to like question yourself or like, oh, she doesn't have enough money or oh, she would never want to work with me, you just kind of move and go. And also a big part of this too is normalizing those thoughts and normalizing that nobody comes out of the gate like, oh, I got this. That takes effort and it takes work. And that's what we're doing today is we're bridging that gap, right? We're building that stretching, working that muscle. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do, so now you have a list of your 10 people on the left, and then you have on the right or in the second column, you have just why you personally want to work with that person. She seems cool. She seems nice. I want to have a drink with her, whatever it is. In the third column, okay, and you're going to get kickback here, you're going to get resistance here. You're going to just write very simply in a very, very simple statement, just one sentence. We're going to practice not overthinking. You're going to write how you can help them. Now, here's where the brain will go into overdrive and be like, you can't help them. You haven't done this yet. You haven't done it. You've never worked with anybody. The blah, 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 all these things. We're going to say, okay, thank you, brain. We're just going to set that aside for a little bit. And we're just going to come back as if like, I got this. So what would you say? How could you help them if you were just like, okay, totally got this. And there's no question about it. So like for the example with the carpool lady, for me, like, I think I could help her create more time in her day so she doesn't feel like so overwhelmed. That doesn't necessarily, you guys, align with any of my buckets. It doesn't align with, she's not a teacher, she's not a coach, and she's not a VA, but I still think I could help her. So I'm going to put her on the list. I'm going to go with my gut here. She is a mom, so maybe moms are in my bucket too. Maybe I add another bucket, moms. Okay, there's literally no right or wrong answer to this. It is simply a matter of just, like I said, dropping into your body, dropping into your intuition and being like, yeah, I think I could help her. How can you help them? It's okay if it doesn't align with your like overall big picture niche. Remember the idea here is that you're going to get that first person, then the first 5, and then the first 10 in. And then that's when we start to really like start to tease it out and figure out, okay, who is it? Who is this person? But there's no way I'm going to know if I don't just kind of start doing it, right? If you guys are open to it, I would love if you want to share what you come up with, even just for like one person, column 1, 2, you don't have to tell us your name, but like column 2 and 3, share those 2 columns. So why you want to work with him or her and how you think you can help him or her, if you're open to it, or you can put it in the chat too.
Something I'm noticing, and like we've talked about this before, because like I've gotten on discovery calls and I'm like, hi, and they're like, hi. Like there's nothing I hate more. So I find myself why I want to work with them in a couple people, like literally just it's their energy. Like they're fun, they seem positive and upbeat. So like that's why.
Perfect.
And then for example, one person, I just thought I can help her eliminate her people pleasing mindset and like really step into her power.
Amazing. That's perfect. So, and for you, like what I heard in that too is like one of those things, your ideal client, like your person, it has to have the right energy.
Oh.
Like otherwise it's not going to work, regardless
Right.
of what bucket or where like your ideal client, but she's just like blah, then it's
yeah.
not. So
I need peppy people.
we need peppy, add that to your list, peppy people. Anybody else want to share maybe why you want to work with that person and how you can help them?
I just want to share a different thought
Yeah.
that, I mean, I feel like it can't be only me who thinks this. I don't doubt how I can help. I struggle to figure out who I think I can help.
Mm.
So it's like it's almost reverse for me. And then going through this, right? I'm sitting here scrolling my phone, like, who do I actually know? Who would I enjoy working with? Like, who am I friends with on Facebook and who have I connected with lately? And then going through that list, I feel the same as Mary. Like, it's dependent on their energy and like sort of our backgrounds. If we have similar circumstances, then I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. But then moving forward, I'm like, oh yeah, I can help you find joy again. I can help you process this loss. I can help you improve your relationship. I can help you to stay motivated. Those
Yeah.
were easy for me to come up with. It's the who of it where I get stuck.
Interesting. Okay. So then working backwards, then, if you know how you can help, who do you know in your space that could fall into that bucket?
And excuse me while I check my phone and all of my online friends and figure it out.
This is interesting. Yeah, I feel too like that is because like in this space, like what I see is like amazing women who could help with so many amazing things. Like I see that and I feel that in this like space and in this presence. I feel like it's your brain trying to talk you out of like being like, no, you don't know anybody like that. No.
Probably. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me at all. I think I don't know, it doesn't really surprise me. I feel like my whole life I felt like I'm a little reversed from everybody else.
Yeah.
But that's even in this where I'm like, I know I can help. I had a conversation with a couple women after a networking event for like an hour.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I know I can help. I just have to like dig. And I mean, we all do, right? We like those deep conversations. We like figuring out the
Yeah.
root and sort of helping people work through it. So I lean more into that. I'm like, I will help anyone if I just find them. And I'm sure it's my brain.
Yeah, and here's the thing too, is that like eventually the goal is to get to the point where you can stand in the grocery store and close your eyes and spin around and then stop on somebody and know that you could help that person no matter what. You could literally help anyone right now in this moment. Anybody that has a pulse and that has like a goal, like you could help them. And that's simply like the reality of it. Now it's a matter of taking what your brain is telling you to be true and just kind of tweaking it a little bit and be like, no, actually, like, oh, I could help her. Oh, I actually could help this person. Like, scroll your phone and just like close your eyes and stop on somebody and see what happens. See what you come up with because you could help them. Thank you guys for sharing that and being so open to sharing. And okay, so you have these 3 columns. So we're going to start to wrap up today's work. And I'm going to tell you this right now, just so you can kind of prepare yourself. But making this list for you today is going to be the easy part of this. The next part that we're going to do tomorrow is what's really going to start to push you and you're going to start to really feel the resistance. Okay. But I want again to encourage you to really push through it and decide right now that you're just going to commit to this and you're going to stick through it just to see what happens. And I'm obviously, again, not ever going to make you do something that makes you really uncomfortable or that's going to like totally dysregulate your nervous system or anything like that. I just want you to see, I want you to start to like kind of just like we talked about, like going to the business gym. Like we're just kind of lifting these like smaller sets of weights and we're getting ready to pick up the heavier ones, right? So tomorrow, I promise you, we're going to dive into this even deeper, the resistance even deeper. So don't worry. And I just want you to take a little bit of time too, to like, let this sink in today and let this just kind of settle and see what comes up for you afterwards. I know that I've asked you to do a lot of things like right now and think of a lot of things and write down a lot of things, but just kind of let it settle and see what comes up for you afterwards too, because new things, new buckets, new ideas, new like ahas, like, oh, maybe it's about the energy. Maybe it's not so much about what bucket they're in. See what comes up for you after this kind of settles in. And I really would love for you to just jot down what your ahas were or what you had trouble with. I know a lot of what we've done today is learning how, or practicing, I guess, practicing moving before we allow the overthinking to sidetrack us, right? We're doing things before we can think about them too much. And this is a good place to be in business, especially, but it takes practice to do this, just like going to the gym, right? So, and I also want to mention too that like the program that I'm going to be running this summer, the Biz Builders program, this is really, that's what makes that program different than anything that I've ever seen, is because it is like the business brain gym. Like it incorporates the strategy, which is what we're doing today, but it's also that mindset piece, because again, I'm going to go back to this. It is never about like knowing what to do. I mean, sometimes it is like knowing the strategy, but you can Google the strategy, like you can phone a friend, like you can figure out the strategy. It's never about knowing what to do. It's knowing how to do it in a space where you own it and you feel confident in it and you feel like I've got this. If you think of something that you're really, really good at, like I'm a really good dancer, right? Like I didn't know how to dance always. Like I didn't know how to count music always. Wasn't born like that. Like I had to learn. I had to practice. And this is exactly what we're doing here, right? Is we're practicing flexing this muscle. We're practicing understanding that we have something that can help other people, whether we recognize it or believe it now or not. Okay. So yes, I didn't know you were a pro. Oh, that was a direct message. Yes, I was. I was an NFL cheerleader. I don't know if you guys, did you? I think you guys all knew that. You got to practice. You got to practice. You got to put the work in. You got to put the time in, and you got to be willing again to be a little bit uncomfortable. So I want to take just a second if you have any questions before we wrap up our time together today about anything that we did today. And again, you guys completed the homework. Anybody that's watching the replay is going to complete the activity, the homework. You have your buckets. You have your 4-column. It's that 4th column that we're going to work on tomorrow. That's really going to be, that's where we're going to see like the big shifts here, and where we're going to see that confidence really start to grow and expand. Any questions or thoughts or ahas before we wrap it up today? I would love to hear.
I can share that. It's not really so much a question, it's just something I noticed, like when you were talking about the offer and like offer confusion and stuff. I just like really felt like you were speaking into my soul, because I feel like and maybe this is something that we could work on together, but just like, what is my offer? I was just thinking to myself, like, yeah, I don't even know what it is. And then it causes me to like be in like freeze mode. Like, I don't know what I'm even selling. So that's why I'm like avoiding sales calls. Cause I don't even like, I know the price I want per session, but like, what am I offering?
Totally. And that makes perfect sense. Of course, you're going to freeze if you're like, okay, like, cool, let's talk about it. But like, I don't even know what to talk about. Like, hello. So again, what I would do is I would take this kind of approach of like not overthinking it too much, because again, just like with your ideal client, with your offers, those are going to evolve and change too. But there's no way to know, like, unless you just start doing it. I'm actually working with one client. She's been coaching for a little over a year now. So she's been running her business for a year, and she's still grappling with, do I want to offer 6 sessions or do I want to offer 8 sessions? And she's kind of going in between this like 6 or 8, 6 or 8. And in our heads, we're like, who cares, 6 or 8? It's not a big deal. We need to take that approach with us too right now in the beginning, where we're like, 4 sessions, like, why don't I just try 4 sessions and offer 4 sessions and see, why don't I offer a package that includes, I don't know, 10 hours a week, and just kind of see how it goes, see how it feels. It's giving yourself permission to do something before you have the answer, before you know what the answer is. And I'll tell you, like, you just got to go. Like, what sits with you right now? Like, I know you're a coach and you want to offer coaching packages. So what would that very simplest offer be to keep it simple for you and to keep it simple for them?
4 sessions.
4
I love
sessions.
the number 4. And then just like, I was like, 4, I like vomited.
4, and there it is. Like, you just sit in, and then that's your offer. 4 session package. Let's see where we can get you in 1 month. Imagine what we could do together in 1 month. That's perfect. You start there, and then you go through the 4 sessions and you go, oh my God, this wasn't enough time. I need to double this. Or maybe it'll be the perfect amount of time. Or maybe for whatever it is that you're coaching around, maybe I can't imagine they would need less than that, but You just start there. You just start somewhere. So that's your offer now. Your offer is 4-session package at this rate. That's it. There it is. It's simple. It's simple and we say it. It's not simple in our heads, right? It's like a massive jumble of stuff going on. Does that help?
That really helped. Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Thank
Solved.
you.
You're welcome. Any other ahas that you guys would like to share before we go enjoy the rest of our days?
Well, one of the things that came up for me that I didn't realize until I started writing down the why I want to work with them is, and then she said it was the energy. That matching the energy in my space is important to me. Like, these are people that I would love to spend time with, that I would love to have coffee or wine or tequila shots, whatever.
Yes, and I know when somebody, that was a big shift for me when they turn lead gen, right, into, don't like worry about like doing lead gen, like just go out and find someone that you would want to have a drink with. That's all you need to do. And when I was like, oh yeah, like this is fun now. Like who, like you're cool.
Yeah.
Like let's do that. So I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Say, I'll echo Yoli in that because I feel like I shared my biggest aha for me personally, but overall, this is echoing 2 different things from this last week. And one is, God bless my boyfriend, and he was like, I bought you coaching books. And I was like, oh, that's super sweet. And one is talking about clients, and it sort of pulls it back to exactly what you're explaining is it's relationships, right?
Yeah.
It's you're not always going out like, oh, who is miserable and needs my help, right? You're looking for the people that you jive with. And then to go beyond that, it's also echoing, this is like the 4th, 5th time this has come up in my life, is just the simplicity of it, right? This is not the easiest thing that we're ever going to do, but we overcomplicate it. And really at the core of it, it's simple. Look at the people you know. Why would you enjoy working with them, hanging out with them? And then how can you help them? Like, it's so simple when you break it down.
It is. It really is. And we get in our own ways. Like that's across the board. Like every single person that I've ever worked with in this capacity, that's like, they are essentially in their own way. Like, but I also, like, I don't say that in a bad way. I just say that in a way that we don't talk about, like, we think that it's easy for everybody else. We think that everybody's got it figured out. We think that like nobody had to like work through this, but really that's not the case. So my whole thing too is like just normalizing that and allowing ourselves space to sit in it and be like, this sucks. I'm really uncomfortable. I hate not knowing. I hate not having control. But once we can once we can sit in that and be comfortable sitting in it, that's when it starts to like flow and work. And you also said something too, Liv, about like relationships. Like we're all really good at building relationships. Like, and you own that, I'm guessing. I'm guessing you know that like you can go out and build a really incredible relationship. I know for me, I'm like, I could talk to anybody anywhere about anything. Not that I want to or that I ever do that, but like I really could and I'm really good at it. We're confident in that. The next step is building that confidence in what we offer, right? Like we have the confidence to build a relationship, but it's building the confidence in how you can help someone. That's the next step. And that comes from our own self-value and our own self-worth. And that's what we're going to really dive in tomorrow. And we're going to work on that column 4 tomorrow together. And that's, again, like I said, where we're going to see those really big shifts. So thank you guys so much for being here. Literally, like I said, I am like so humbled that you are all here and that you have willingly like participated and shared and opened up your hearts and your everything. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. This was such a blast. And I hope that, I hope again that you just let it settle and you let it be and let yourself be. And it's okay to be in the muck and we'll continue to work through it together. And I've got you guys. And if anything comes up, you guys know where to find me. Please feel free to reach out and I am here and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.